had to be a little bit of a spoiler and go over the latest injury of Teron Armstead. My man Teron is banged up now in another area, and this is very concerning. And this could put a massive whammy on any possible big hopes for the season. If he can't continue or whatever. It's a big if, but it's a real if. But I want to end on a happy day, but I don't want to blow smoke. I want to be realistic. And it's just so odd. Last year, I was kind of tampering down Jaelan Phillips when he was getting compared to JT. And he really didn't have as good a season as his stats were saying. But this year, I find he's having an excellent season. Really, it started off slow, and then it just started to build to an excellent season. And this is going to get better. I'm seeing so much growth week in and week out. And I find a lot of fans saying, where's the pass rush? And Phillips, where is he? And he's having a mind-blowing season. And the trajectory is starting to go so vertical, it's unbelievable. So I'm just going to go over some quick stats of what's going on with him. And you're going to be impressed. And then I'm going to do a little film study. And I'm not really going to say much more other than if you're not impressed and you don't see where this kid's heading, and then you factor in adding Chubb, I don't know what to do. So, and like I said, I am a bit of a conservative guy, and I was a little tampering down things last year. So if I'm getting excited, Curtis is getting excited, I think you should too. So, 32 pressures, 4 sacks, 5 hits, 23 hurries. He has a win rate of 21.7, which is 16th. If you take out Kobe Jones, has only got 2 pass rushes. He's like number 1. And you take away Terrell Barnes, I think his name, Terrell Bashan, Boogie Bashan. He's only had 10 pass rushes. He's 14th in highest win rate in the NFL for a pass rusher. Now, interesting note, Van Ginkel's 22.6, which is actually about 12th. But I think he's getting a little bit with when you watch the film, you're seeing teams now starting to double and focus on Phillips. And that's also letting VG get his little stuff. But he does excellent on his own as well, not to knock him in any way, shape, or form. Now, Phillips has the 8th most pressures in the NFL and 3rd most hurries. And this kid, when I showed you, I did a film study the last time, I showed you he started adding new stuff to his repertoire. And one of them was the spin. And I said, this is going to get better. This is going to play a part. And you're going to see in this film study, that spin is becoming more and more prevalent. And for a guy who can speed push that tackle or that blocker, the ability to stiff arm and then spin back inside is a potent combo. He's not there yet, but he is getting better and better, folks. And again, Chubb and Phillips, and you throw VG in there with Ingram, and then you got all the stuff inside. Somebody said, what about Agba? Agba's got a really bad back. You could see it. You could see him pop and then disappear. And he's getting limited touches, and that sounds like, and looks like they're managing a very, very bad back. So Agba's not jaking it. Some of it's not being used the way Flores was because the 0 is not as prevalent. But just want to give that little shout out for Agba because he is working hard, but that back is a major issue. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, AcePerHead, because without you guys, this show ain't going down. AcePerHead's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, so now we'll get into the film study. I'll let you see that stats, the bulk, big top-end stats, sometimes they're misleading. Last year, he did not have a season like this, but he had more sacks, 8.5. Right now, he's trending towards roughly the same season. But the underneath analytics, looking at everything and then combining it with the film, is showing that this guy is blowing up. Even in the run game, he's showing major improvements. My key has been, how does he deal with the tight ends? He doesn't have to beat these tackles and guards, and that's fine. As long as you can't stop him with the tight end, he can dominate that tight end or mostly dominate. That's all he needs to do. And he's starting to do that with all this other magic. It's very exciting. Anyway, let's take a look at the tape and see what we see. We're going to start with the running game here. He gets jammed up, does the spin, tracks and attacks, and pushes the running back out of bounds. Receiver gets him, and I just like the way that spin's working for him. And the running back's got the head of steam, but look at that explosion just to catch up to him and be involved in the shove out. Inside here, poor block by the tight end. But the physicality, just to use that shoulder, knock him out of the way, and then kind of get in there, maybe to help out Davis a little bit. Now over here, he totally shuts down the edge of this run attack. Manhandles the tight end, just shuts it down so the running back has to take the cut back. Now over here, he tries to go outside, does the rip, doesn't work, and gets that spin going. This is not a play where he actually affected the quarterback at all, but these are tools that he's working on, and you can see that spin is just really starting to develop, and he's using it a lot more. Over here, he works on the tight end and just physically manhandles him. And this is something, if he can add to that speed, is going to be a huge, huge asset. And look at this. Look how close he is before that ball gets thrown. That was about 1.5 feet from hitting that hand and making a fumble or incomplete pass. This one, he just shoots inside with the speed, gets the leverage, and just drives. That looks like a hole to me a little bit, but that's inside, and he's really affecting things. Again, you can see the inside here. He gets penned up. He sees the quarterback move, does that spin again, and just the speed to get in there, and he cannot finish that pass. And you can watch where the pass gets dumped off here. This was a first down that was totally affected by Phillips' pass rush. Again, over here, he's working to the outside. He gets that leverage to cut off the depth, and he's involved in that. That's another pressure. And look where the ball is, behind the running back. He affected that. Again, inside, a little hand motion. The spin again. There's a lot of spin moves to get involved in this quarterback scramble. Now, this was beautiful. Gets inside. Decker's a good tackle. And he just cuts it short, stabs, and he just gets down the line of scrimmage. And look at the hand. That's about 1 foot away from blocking that, hitting that football, and making a major play. That's all day with this guy. Again, just drives Decker back. Just using physicality now. Now he's adding the bull rush and the speed, which is going to make it really difficult to stop him. And the hand, look at that. That hand is right in front of the quarterback and totally affects that pass and is close to a big play. Again, outside, this is Sewell driving him back with power. And then look at this. Half a step away, half a foot away from stopping, making that sack. And then another one. This was a big play. And he works on Decker with his step inside, gets the leverage. Now, Goff can't step into that. He can't, and that's because of Phillips. And that ball falls short. That should have been out in front of him, and it could have been a big play. But Phillips affected that pass too. All right, so no sacks this game. I don't believe he had any sacks. He had no sacks. It was like 2 hits and 5 hurries. But you could see he altered the course of a couple of key pass plays. He was 1 foot away from a strip sack or sacks multiple times. And he is just growing into his talent. He's getting stronger. He's understanding the game's slowing down. He's mixing multiple techniques to get past blockers. He's able to play inside and slice and then use that speed to get the leverage. And then he's a big guy in himself at 266. Then to use that leverage he gains from his speed to kind of can open the interior of the offensive line among many, many other assets. And you can see that spin move starting to come together. You can see all kinds of techniques. And he is not done maturing as a physical specimen. he's not going to hit his prime for another 2 years, which is mind-blowing when you take that physical talent along with the technique growth, which is massive improvement. This guy is going to be special. Can he stay healthy? Can he continue to affect the run game where he doesn't get isolated? We're going to see. But everything is saying he will. And you add in Chubb as a duo. And this year, with VG lurking in the background, we're going to get after the quarterbacks in a special way. We already starting to. These were poor offensive lines. So, we got to see a little bit more against the better quarterbacks and the better offensive lines. But he's doing what he has to do against the people he's facing. Guys, I'd say, without a doubt, look out for Mr. Phillips. Curtis saying, got one more little bit of tape coming out for you, a little bit of more of a realist approach on the offensive line with Jones and Shell. I still have my take on it. I'm going to present my evidence and let you do whatever. Ultimately, it's going to be what it's going to be. They're going to put whoever where they're going to put, and we'll see how they perform. But it's part of the fun of evaluation over here, and I'm going to present that to you next. And then a little Chicago thing. I didn't really get heavy on it because everything in the matchup says we're going to really destroy this team. I mean, there's a possibility always, but this looks like the easiest win, quote unquote, of the year. So I'm not going to get too crazy about that. Anyway, catch you next time. Be well and go Fins. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with AcePerHead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.